means Pojulu community has reconciled the social media using this festival. Those who are using social media negatively, but during this festival, they start using the social media positively. Thank you to all those who are using social media positive to foster the culture and unity for South Sudanese. You have united the people of the Republic of South Sudan, not only the people of Central Equatoria. Those who are using the Facebook, those who are using TikTok, those who are using Instagram, those who are using X, those who are using WhatsApp, thank you. You have used it positive for the betterment of our country. The festival has achieved tremendous achievements, starting from the unity, peace, reconciliation, and embracing the diversity of the Republic of South Sudan.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Good afternoon. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. A lecturer at Rumbek University has reported that 4 of his colleagues were detained by security personnel just days after the Academic Staff Association called for the removal of Vice-Chancellor Joshua Otorakol. The governor of Central Equatoria State has issued an order suspending land demarcation activities in High Jazeera Munuki and has formed a committee to investigate the root causes of the ongoing land dispute between St. Stephen Parish and the residents of High Jazeera. A youth activist and founder of Pan-African Peacemakers Alliance is appealing to South Sudan leaders to support young people and engage them in productive activities. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Baria Johnson, and now the news in detail. A lecturer at Rumbek University has reported that 4 of his colleagues were detained by security personnel just days after the Academic Staff Association called for the removal of Vice-Chancellor Joshua Otorakol. The detained staff include Makur Awan, the Dean of Student Affairs, and Court Manyon, the head of Department of Business Administration at the College of Economics and Social Studies. The others are Joseph Mong and Emmanuel Rondial, the heads of the Departments of Geography and History, respectively. Lecturer Gormathiang shared details of the incident.
So, the acting chief, Ustaz Court Manyon, is arrested. The Dean of Student Affairs, Afura One, is arrested. Lecturer Joseph Mong is arrested. And Mr. Emmanuel Rundia is also arrested. These are the 4 members of our academic staff being arrested this morning. We heard that the order came from the governor, so they are arrested by the national security. I don't know, but I think maybe they will go to, according to that person, he was saying that the order was that they will be sent to Rock City. But he said that he had come as security agent, they will not go to Rock City. That he will be arrested in the national security facilities.
Mathiang said that the reason for the arrest remain unclear, but he suspects the Vice-Chancellor is behind them. He also said that some security personnel claimed they were acting on the governor's order but provided no further details.
The cause of the arrest is unknown, because what we know is that the Vice-Chancellor and his team met with the governor this morning, and after their meeting with the governor, then the order came that these people are to be arrested. According to the person sent to pick them, he said the order came from the governor. So I think maybe it is the one-sided story that the governor may be fed by this group, the group that is headed by the BC and his collaborators.
When asked for comment, Vice-Chancellor Akol said he was unaware of the arrest.
I don't know. People are saying here and there. They'll if somebody But I will see. I will try to find out what how they arrested. No, at that time is the university and set responsibility. But what comes from that thing, I don't know. I'm not good idea of what they arrest now. No, I'm not. After the time we are talking, we were in a meeting with the government, trying to explain to him which had.
Last week, Vice-Chancellor Akol suspended activities of the University Staff Association after they sent a letter to President Salva Kiir demanding Akol's removal over allegations of incompetence. In response to the detentions, civil society activist Daniel Ladd called for the immediate release of the academics and urged authorities to engage in dialogue to resolve the situation. Ladd, the state coordinator for the Community Empowerment for Progress organization, also appealed to the national government to intervene.
The best way to this is the dialogue. Detaining lecturers is not the best way. The university administration could have come together, sit down with the lecturers, let them listen to the demands of the lecturers, and then from there, the dialogue will address this issue instead of detaining them. We are calling the state government at least to release these people and instructs national security to release them and let the national government intervene, because these lecturers address their complaint to the chancellor of all the public universities.
The governor of Central Equatoria has issued an order suspending land demarcation activities in High Jazeera Munuki and has formed a committee to investigate the root causes of the ongoing land dispute between St. Stephen Church and the residents of High Jazeera. On April 20th, Reverend Paul Samuel, the parish priest of St. Stephen in Munuki, accused the State Ministry of Land, Housing and Public Utilities of demolishing the church residential quarters in an attempt to seize the land. At the weekend, the Archbishop of the Episcopal Church of South Sudan, Justin Badia Arama, refuted reports circulating on social media which alleged that he was beaten at St. Stephen Parish in Munuki area of Juba. Photos of Primate Badia along with other church members seated on the floor within the church premises with police standing behind him on Thursday emerged on social media. His mission to the area came amid tensions between the church and residents over a land dispute. According to the primate, the church had begun a month-long period of fasting and prayer when stones were thrown into the church compound. Some stones, he said, struck a few priests and church members, prompting police intervention. The religious leader denied the claims that church members were beaten. Reverend Paul stated that St. Stephen Parish was established in 1965 and that the land in question was allocated to the church in 1987 by the then Regional Ministry of Housing. In response, David Morbe, the Central Equatorial Minister of Housing, issued a public apology to the leadership of the Episcopal Church for the incident. According to Morbe, Governor Jadala has directed the suspension of ongoing land demarcation in the area and initiated an investigation into the dispute. In an order issued on Monday via the Governor's Office Facebook page, Governor Jadala suspended land demarcation in High Jazeera Munuki and established a 9-member ad hoc committee to probe the root causes of the land dispute between the church and the residents. The committee, which is headed by the state legal advisor, has been tasked with submitting a report of its findings to the governor's office within 21 days. Youth activist and founder of Pan-African Peacemakers Alliance is appealing to South Sudanese leaders to support young people and engage them in productive activities. Activist Yol Gatkoth is reacting to the decision by the authorities in Ezo County of Western Equatoria State to detain 30 youth, including 3 females, for being idle and smoking shisha. The youth were released on Monday after they promised to engage in productive activities. According to Ezo County Commissioner Abel Sudan, the motive was to bring these individuals to the local chiefs for discipline and guidance with objective of shaping them into good citizens.
As we witnessed, majority of our young people, most of them are loitering around, most of them are going only for things that cannot benefit them. And most of the family members has accused their sons, daughters of laziness and idleness. They are not contributing to any activities in their homes, and we thought it wise as the authority to comply with the communities, the parents, and pass a local order that will identify all the youth who are staying idle, who are very lazy, who cannot do something to sustain themselves, in order to bring them to the chiefs, the local chiefs around, in order to discipline them and make them better people for tomorrow.
Reacting to the local order, activist Yul Gatkuoth says the government should initiate youth programs that engage young people across the country. Activist Gatkuoth added that detaining young people will not help solve the current challenges youth are facing in the country.
The government should be friendly to the young people. As we know that there is a lot of insecurity in the country, and government should deliver services to the young people. Otherwise, it is difficult, for government to handle these young people when there is no thing that are engaging them, such as sports, such as vocational centers, training, such as youth for peace tournaments. So that should be a platform that makes these young people engage, and they should be satisfied as well. So that is what I can also say to the government.
According to a UNDP survey, South Sudanese youth, who make up an estimated 75% of the population, are hindered by limited access to quality education, as well as high unemployment rates despite 60% possessing college degrees. This paints a grim picture of wasted potential and fuels a cycle of despair. You are listening to iRadio Afternoon News. The Vice President, Josephine Lagu, has called on South Sudanese to embark on agriculture to reduce over-reliance on imported food, saying it may not be safe for public consumption. Josephine, who is also the chairperson for Service Cluster, said the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has recently received tractors to boost agricultural production in the country. She, however, added that the support from the government may not be enough and urged the public to use local tools such as hoes. Ms. Lagu also said President Salva Kiir has instructed the Minister of Finance and Planning to prioritize financing agricultural production in the country. The Vice President was speaking at the closing celebration of the Pojulu Cultural Festival in Juba yesterday.
Recently, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has received some tractors. These tractors may not be enough for everybody, but it is the beginning. While we are waiting for more, let's use our traditional tools, the hoes. What government wants to see is that we produce our own food. We produce what we eat, and not depending on imported food from other countries that may not even be safe for us. Let's produce our own food. Let us remember and go back to being the great basket of Juba and of South Sudan at large.
Farmers across the country have consistently raised concerns about conflicts, insufficient government support, particularly in pest control, access to fuel, and lack of a stable market for their produce. Last month, the economic cluster approved 62 billion SSP to support farming activities ahead of the rainy season. Following the meeting, the Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Lily Albino Akol, directed all state governors and chief administrators to allocate 250,000 hectares of land each for agricultural use. And finally, the newly appointed Commissioner of Terkeka County in Central Equatoria State has expressed his readiness to work with local chiefs and stakeholders to promote peace and development in the county. Dr. Emmanuel Ladu spoke yesterday after his swearing in Juba. He pledges to uphold the highest standards of public integrity and ethical leadership. According to him, he is committed to transforming Terkeka County through good governance and community resilience. Commissioner Laku expressed his gratitude and readiness to serve the people in collaboration with the state government.
We are committed to work collaboratively with all stakeholders who are political leaders, traditional chiefs, elders, women, youth, and faith-based communities to foster peace, stability, and development in our counties. Our mission is clear. We aim to restore trust, integrity, and honor to government institutions. This is our solemn obligation. We pledge to uphold the highest standard of public integrity and ethical leadership. From this day forward, we will work tirelessly to transform our counties into a model of good governance and community resilience. Your Excellency, the Governor, we are determined to focus on key areas that will drive progress: agriculture, education, health care, and other vital sectors that underpin peace and development.
You are listening to iRadio Afternoon News, and now we are joined by my colleague Madrama James for the regional and international news.
A group of 59 white South Africans arrived in the U.S. where they are to be granted refugees status. President Donald Trump has said the refugee applications for the country Afrikaner minority had been expedited as they were victims of racial discrimination. The South African government said the group were not suffering any such persecution that would merit refugees status. Elsewhere, an Israel airstrike on the emergency department of Nasser Hospital in southern Gaza has killed a well-known Palestinian photojournalist, medical sources and eyewitnesses say. Hassan Halis, who has been treated for injuries from a previous Israeli strike, was targeted in what witnesses describe as a drone attack on the hospital's surgical wing. A doctor there confirmed that Hassan has been at the hospital for nearly a month after surviving an airstrike on the same facility in April. Finally, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said his country will respond strongly to what he described as a future terrorist attack after 4 days of military exchange with the neighboring Pakistan. This is not an era of war, but this is also not an era of terror, Modi said in his first public address since the days of intense shelling and aerial insurrections carried out by both sides began. This followed a militant attack in Indian-administered Kashmir that killed 26 people, for which India blamed a Pakistan-based group. Islamabad has strongly denied backing up the group in question.
Thank you, Madrama James. And now to the sports news with Lasuba Memo.
Thanks, Barry Johnson. In the world of sports, let's begin at home. The organizing committee of the South Sudan Football Association has officially announced that May 15, 2025 will be the new date for the kickoff of the South Sudan National League for the 2024-2025 season. The announcement was made following the committee's meeting held in Juba yesterday. The National League will feature 13 champions of the first division local leagues from various local football associations across the country. Meanwhile, in South Sudan Premier League, this afternoon Olympic Rang will face Bentiu City, while Malakal Juba will tackle Qatar in the capital derby. Elsewhere, Manchester United will hold a barbecue at the club's Carrington training ground to celebrate if they beat Tottenham Hotspur in next week's Europa League final. And no parade is planned should they win their tournament. Players are also being restricted to 2 free tickets each for the match, with on-the-day travel to the final in Bilbao on Wednesday. The decisions come after a series of cost-cutting measures at the club, which have included redundancies and the removal of lunches for staff. Finally, Andy Murray will no longer be working as Novak Djokovic's coach. The decision, said to be by mutual agreement, means Murray will not be by Djokovic's side when he chases an 8th Wimbledon title in July. Djokovic, a 24-time Grand Slam champion, joined forces with Murray in November. Under Murray, the Serb reached the semi-finals of the Australian Open ultimately retiring injured after losing the first set. The 37-year-old has had a difficult season by his high standards, losing his first match in 4 of his past 5 tournaments, as well as being beaten in the Miami Open final by 19-year-old Jakub Mensik. That's all in the world of sports. Back to you, Barry Johnson.
You're listening to iRadio News, and to end this bulletin, here are the headlines once again. A lecturer at Rumbek University has reported that 4 of his colleagues were detained by security personnel just days after the Academic Staff Association called for the removal of Vice Chancellor Joshua Utorakol. The governor of Central Equatoria has issued an order suspending land demarcation activities in High Jazeera Munuki and has formed a committee to investigate the root causes of the ongoing land dispute between St. Stephen Church and the residents of High Jazeera. And youth activist and founder of Pan-African Peacemakers Alliance is appealing to South Sudanese leaders to support young people and engage them in productive activities. That's the end of iRadio Afternoon News. If there is a story or an event you would like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287870. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page, iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 12:30. I am Barry Johnson. Thanks for listening.